Today we will be installing locks on a Mercedes Sprinter, and considering the weather, we are working outdoors. We start with the mounting heights, and on the rear door there is free placement from the lower edge all the way up, so you can place the lock wherever you want. But it's nice to keep it at a reasonable height so that you can unlock and pull the handle at the same time. As for the side door, we need to install the lock in the lower part. This is due to the drilling. There will be a cavity up here that prevents the screws and nuts from fitting. We just need to place the lock within the 10-20 centimeters. If you look behind, I will explain a bit why. Considering that we will have through screws here with nuts and washers, they won't fit until the hole cavity begins. The lock must be placed in this area on the side door in order to follow the instructions. We start by cleaning the surfaces of the Mercedes Sprinter. When we are going to place the drilling template on the rear door, we position it so that the black line is flush with the edge of the door panel. Now we have placed the drilling template a bit higher up on the rear door so that it is at the same height as on the side door, purely for aesthetic reasons. On the side door, we carefully adhere the drilling template on the lower part of the door so that the black line just passes the door leaf to the left. We precisely mark the areas on the rear door that we should not drill. Exactly. On the side door, we also mark the holes we are not going to drill. Now we will center punch on the rear door, and we will center punch in the center of the right rear door. At the end of the rear door, we move 2 mm to the right for better clearance. On the side door, we corner in the middle of the opening door. When we drill to the final depth on the side door, we drill a little inward and a little downward to compensate when the bearings give way. Cut the holes so that we can open the doors while we work. We put a smaller drill bit on the drill, about 3-4 mm, and pre-drill for all the holes. Behind the outer plate there is a reinforced plate. Drill through the outer plate and the reinforced plate. Before we drill the holes on the locking mechanism, we open the doors to prevent any impact on the pillar. Behind the 7.5 mm hole there is a reinforced plate. Drill through the outer plate and the reinforced plate. Change the drill to 6.5 mm and drill the third hole from the top to 6.5 mm. Drill through the outer plate, the reinforced plate, and all the way through the post to the other side. Using a standard electric drill, carefully drill 2 outer holes on the right rear door to a precise diameter of 6.5 mm, ensuring the drill bit goes completely through the material. Always wear safety goggles and gloves during this process. Change the drill to 9 mm and drill the middle hole to 9 mm only through the outer plate. Drill the remaining 3 holes on the left rear door to 9 mm. Drill through the outer plate and the reinforced plate behind it. Change the drill to 7.5 mm and drill the outer hole furthest to the right on the right rear door to 7.5 mm, only the outer plate. sorry, there is reinforced plate behind, both the outer plate and the reinforced plate. Take out the drilling template for the emergency button, stick it on the inside of the right rear door's pillar so that the middle hole is positioned between the two holes we have at the same height. Core in the center of all three markings on the drilling template. Using a smaller drill bit, carefully position it at the center of each of the three marked spots on the outer plate. Proceed to drill through the plate at these precise locations, ensuring that the drill is aligned correctly and that you maintain a steady hand throughout the process to achieve clean and accurate holes. Change the drill to 7mm and drill the outer plate to 7mm. Be careful not to break through and make an ugly mark on the outside of the door. Take a countersink or manual deburring tool and remove all burrs. Inject cavity wax into all cavities. Take out the rust protection primer or a fish pin and paint all surfaces. Use a smaller drill when we are drilling on the side door and pre-drill all the holes in the body. Drill through the outer plate and the reinforced plate behind. Open the side door before you drill all 4 holes with a smaller drill all the way through. We see that the drill has wandered a bit in one hole. It is not centered. Use the smaller drill to ensure you end up where you need to be. Change the drill to 6.5 mm and drill all 4 holes in the side door through to 6.5 mm. Drill all 4 holes in the body to 6.5. Mem through the outer plate and the reinforced plate. There was no plate too strong at the hole at the bottom. However, it was extra thick. Change the drill to 9mm and drill all 4 holes in the body to 9mm. If there is too strong a plate behind, we will drill that as well. Use a countersink or manual deburring tool to deburr all the holes on the inside and outside of the side door. Carefully take out the canister of cavity wax from its storage location and proceed to spray it thoroughly and evenly into the designated areas of the vehicle's body structure, ensuring complete coverage for optimal protection. Take out the rust protection primer or a fish pin and paint all the surfaces. On the sides, we paint the inside and outside. Take the nut riveter M6 fitting. Take the long split rivet and secure it in the hole in the middle of the right rear door. Make sure that the split rivet splits like an X and not like a plus. If it splits like a plus, the arm will obstruct the passage to the emergency button. At the left rear, we use the short knurled rivet. Since we have double sheet metal, we do not use the split rivet. Secure the short rivet in the 3 holes that are 9mm at the left rear. On the side door, we have a reinforced plate on the 3 upper holes. and there we use the short-ribbed rivet. In the bottom hole, there was no double plate, so we can use the original split rivet. For the 3 holes where there was a double plate, we will use a short-ribbed rivet. Replace the fitting on the pliers with M5. Secure the M5 rivet, which is short and knurled, at the top and bottom of the left rear door. Use a thread locking compound in the rivets. Use weak or medium strength Loctite. You must not use strong Loctite. Take out the black rubber seals and stick them on. The large part on the rear door, right side, and the small part on the left. The same applies to the side door. We follow the large part in the holes above and below, and the small part on the body side. Take a shim, 2 screws with a ball head and 2 small washers. Secure them in the top and bottom holes on the left rear door. Repeat the steps on the side door. Take out a shim, 2 screws with a ball head and 2 small washers, and secure them in the top and bottom holes. Take out 2 screws with closed screw heads. One is 25mm long and the other is 100mm. Take a black rubber, a large washer and a large nut, and meet at the back of the left door to secure the long bolt. Be careful not to tighten this screw too much, as it will cause the outer and inner sheet metal to bind together and result in sheet metal damage. It is sufficient for it to be a little tight. Cut off the excess length of the long screw. Back to the side door, we take out an end cap, 2 screws with a countersunk head, 25mm long, and secure them in the rivets. Take out a shim, a base plate, 2 screws that are 20mm long with a countersunk head, 2 small washers and 2 large nuts. Tighten the upper screw so that 1 thread passes the nut's locking. The lower one should be tightened 1.5 threads past the nut. Remove the lock housing without tools. Lock the piston manually with your finger. Place the lock to the left of the base plate. Press with your left hand so that you get behind the plate and then slide the lock until it clicks into place. Then unlock the lock before you test the door. If the rubber seal ends up outside, you can either push in the excess or cut it off. This is how much I usually cut off and then push in the remainder. Take out 2 cooling screws with thread locking, 2 small washers, and secure them from the inside. When the lock is screwed in place, check that the washers and nuts are not loose. Test the door closure, remembering to unlock it first. ensure that everything functions satisfactorily. Take out a shim, a base plate, and a screw with a countersunk head that is 25mm long. Place the lock with the emergency cable in your pocket. Thread the cable through the shim and the base plate, and then through the outer 7.5mm hole so that it comes out on the other side. Don't tighten too much, allow some flex in the plate. If it's tightened too hard, you won't be able to attach the lock, and if it's too loose, the lock will have too high an angle. Once you have threaded the cable and tightened the bottom plate, please close the back door. Manually lock the piston with your hand. Keep the cable taut. Place the lock beside it. Press the outer part to the left, and when you get it to slide on, pull the cable while you pull the lock sideways. Then test to ensure that everything works. Take out 2 screws with a rounded head and lock tight. Use a small washer and secure it on the back door from the inside out. Take out the red plastic button. Loosen the gold-colored nipple about 8 turns. It can sometimes be 10, until it is loose enough. If you screw it too many turns, it will fall off. If it does, screw it back on. Manually lock the piston with your hand. Thread the wolf through the small hole at the back, up and then down through the nipple. Here you need to apply force and push until you get a grip. If you want to pull it forward, that's fine, but you cannot back it up. If you have pulled it out too far, you can press down the nipple with a screwdriver, and then you can go back. When the piston is in the locked position, you can pull the button towards the side of the post. Now it is perfectly adjusted. Tighten the gold-colored nipple half a turn at a time. Be careful not to pinch the cable. Take out 2 small M5 screws with a countersunk head and secure them in the upper and lower nipple. Take out a pair of cutting pliers. Cut the cable at the top. Oil the locks with CRCS lock oil.